Hey there. I bet you're wondering why we're so close. It's because in this video I want to have an intimate conversation with you about men. Alright, enough of that. Hello divine souls. My name is Mariah, and on this channel I talk about manifestation, a little bit of spirituality, femininity, how to live your best life, and being a girl. Being a girl is fun, and somebody has to talk about it. Somebody has to talk about it. So I think that has to be me, you know? Okay. So recently we have seen the Wizard Liz and her fiance slash husband, and honestly it is a mess. I think we can learn some key things from what happened here and just use it as a reminder to talk about maybe some do's and don'ts when it comes to men and attaching yourself to them in a permanent way. The lips. I hope y'all are liking the angle. I'm trying some new things out, so let me know how y'all like it, please. I just need you to like it. Kidding. I'm going through a lot right now. Okay, let's get started. What we can learn from the Wizard Liz situation. I do have the PowerPoint again because I'm really liking it. So we're going to continue with this style, with this format. Okay, number one, don't date down. And when I say this, I mean more than just looks. I mean a lot of things. Dating down doesn't just mean money. It's also look, status, intelligence, social class. And in this case, I don't think Landon is ugly. I think that he was off and his vibes were seeming not authentic from the beginning. And from what I seen from just her TikTok comments from like March, people were already saying something is weird about him. Also, I see some comments that were reminding her that when you don't have the right partner, he makes you look ugly. Not that she ever was, but when she changed her hair into like this mullet style, people were complaining. This guy wasn't particularly ugly, but maybe he wasn't a super gorgeous model, and maybe that's what people thought that a woman like her deserves. But I think it's more about a man's insecurity. It's not really about if he's actually ugly. It's about if he thinks he's ugly. More so, it's about if he thinks he is not worthy of you. And when a man is insecure about something like his looks, he might try to sabotage you to make you feel like you are ugly. For example, you might want to dress up when you go outside. You might like to get cute, do your makeup, do your hair, put on a pretty dress, and he'll say, babe, you don't need all that. Or babe, why are you getting so dressed up? Who are you going out for? I see this a lot with men. Just in general, they'll try to stifle a woman and like dim her light, and especially if she's beautiful and dresses beautifully and wears makeup and just has herself together. That's just one example of how they might try to sabotage you. Of course, this can go a lot deeper. Insecure men are very dangerous because they can actually get violent. There are lots of stories you can look into in your own time. I personally think dating someone who is insecure is very dangerous to your safety, and that's the main reason why I wouldn't advise it. Because when men are angry, they do bad things, and you don't want to be with someone who tries to sabotage you in a worse way than just trying to ruin your self-esteem or self-image. Dating down can also mean status, someone who isn't as wealthy as you, or maybe isn't in the same social class, or has a job that is very different than your job. It could also mean intelligence, obviously, someone who maybe isn't as smart as you, someone who isn't as educated as you, or it can mean money, which is like the classic, don't date someone who has less money than you, significantly less than you. And in this case, her ex-fiance was already wealthy, but maybe she did date down for his looks and maybe fame. I'm not sure about that one. He certainly was intelligent, because a lot of people seem to believe that he manipulated their whole entire relationship and like basically found her in a Joe Goldberg style situation. People thought that she could do better, and she probably knew that she could do better, but he swept her off her feet, as some people have said, and it backfired because the whole time he might have just been someone who wanted to manipulate her and see if he had it, if he could in the first place. Number two, don't move too fast. Don't move too fast. In the case of the Wizard Liz, it looks like she got engaged and impregnated within months, which is just way too soon. In her case, she is Muslim and she lives in Dubai, so obviously it's not the same as in America. However, a lot of her audience seems to be from out here, so we're looking at her from our perspective, which is why we're kind of confused on why everything took place. And her hubby slash fiance couldn't even keep his mask up for like, has it even been a year? But first of all, getting married to somebody is a big deal. I wouldn't do that quickly and I would not take that lightly. Even getting married relatively quickly, like before a year, is one thing, but having a kid is literally the biggest deal ever. I would want to wait, first of all, to have some time with my husband so that we're actually getting to know each other and just enjoying our time as like two people. I don't want to have kids immediately when I get married, but some people might be eager to be mothers, and also depending on your age, you might be in a rush. A lot more women nowadays are choosing not to have kids in the first place. I am good. I'm good. All that stuff for them took place within months, and I think that's just too fast. If she would have waited a while to get pregnant, I feel like that might have been better. Just don't move too quickly, please. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I also think this goes for moving in with a partner. Don't do that too quickly either. I see stories of women like meeting their person and they move in within weeks. It works out for some people. Like, I've heard some success stories where they're like, oh, we met and we moved into each other's houses within 3 weeks and we got married and have a family and it's been 20 years. Like, wow, that's amazing. That is way too quickly for me. Even me, in the past, I have lived with a partner, but we were dating for like 3 years. Even then, I don't really recommend moving with a partner when you're young, but it did teach me a lot of life experience. I know what I don't want now and I know what I want, but don't just meet someone and move in with them quickly. Sometimes people are in situations where they need to get away from like a toxic household or something like that. In that case, I say make sure you're getting your own money and you have a plan to exit when and if you need to, because I understand that sometimes we might need to move in with people even if it's not ideal for whatever reasons, but always have a plan and have your own money, have a job, have something so that when you need to leave, you can. Even like these contingencies are not foolproof, but when people get married and have divorces, I always think the women who have those prenups where it has like cheating clauses are like really smart. They'll say like, oh, if you cheat, you have to give me $1 million. If you do this, you have to buy me a house. You have to do this, this, and that. I think those are very smart. Those prenups with those clauses, they kind of ensure that if anything were to happen, because you never know with a man, at least you're getting something beneficial out of it. Have contingencies. That's not a slide on here, but it should be. So I guess we'll make a slide. Let's make a slide. Have contingency. Because like I said in my last video, one thing about a man is he will always have the audacity. He will always try it. So if you have backups, I think that's something to maybe ease the pain a little bit for if and when he disappoints you. It sucks, but I think at this point that's the only thing we can really do. We always want to make sure that we will be stepping out of it better than how we came into it. Definitely not worse. We need to be better. We need to be smarter. We need to be cuter. We need to be richer. We need to be in a better house, a better neighborhood. So having those backup plans, I think, is very useful for women. Just like we've seen those stories of trad wives who divorced their husband or their husband divorced them and they were left like in the dust with kids and no money of their own. Even Shira will tell you to have a backup plan. She tells you, she'll say if you get married to start your own business, have your own income. Like, don't just be dependent on someone. Have your own money, income, resources, something that you can do for yourself. Like, don't just ever be completely dependent on a guy. Liz is not that case. Obviously, she has her own success in her own right, and right now she's getting a lot of support from her community, which is amazing, but not everyone has that. So if you don't have something on such a grand scale, at least have your own money, at least have your own business. Don't just be dependent on someone to take care of you and your children if you have them. That's really the old way of doing things. Luckily, we live in a time where you don't have to do that anymore, and you shouldn't. Definitely have your own stuff. And maybe another guy too, in case one of them acts up. Number 4, do not let celebrities or influencers be your god or goddess. it. A lot of people right now are disheveled because they have given up on love because the Wizard Liz got cheated on. When Beyonce and Jay-Z had their little squabble, everyone was like, oh my god, Beyonce got cheated on. What am I gonna do? Where's hope for me? When YouTubers break up, people are like, oh my god, if that happens to them, they were the strongest power couple. What about me? Stop worrying about these celebrities and influencers. That's not your life. That is not a reflection of your life. Their life is not a reflection of yours. Their relationship is not a reflection of yours. You create your own life and your own reality, as I have said before. Their relationship doesn't have to be a reflection of your relationship unless you make it. If you're looking at them as an example of what you can have, then yes, all hope is lost for you. But don't do that. Never look at a celebrity's relationship, which is probably fake, and base your entire life off of that. Don't look at a celebrity's relationship as your goals, because it's probably not even real. You get to create your own life, and just because it didn't work out for them has nothing to do with you. This is why I love the law of assumption and the law of attraction and reality transurfing, all of that. I love all of it because it puts the power back in your hands. Only you can create your reality, and only you can affect your reality. Other people's experiences and assumptions have nothing to do with you. So don't say, oh, you've lost all faith in men because of this one situation. And yeah, I know people say, oh, not all men, but it's always a man. Yeah, but honestly, what do you want in your life? You get what you expect a lot of the times. So if you're expecting all men to be this way, then that's what's going to happen for you. Right now, we live in a world where there is like a lot of gender wars happening. So while I might play into that for the sake of trends and content creations, I am not the type of person that will ever generalize an entire group of people, an entire gender, an entire race, an entire whatever, just because. I think it's wild to look at one entire group of people and generalize them and say that every single person in that group is that way. That's wild. Because that's not true. Even if you see a group of 1,000 ants, it doesn't mean that they're all the same. Anyway, I don't like that. Don't look at celebrities and influencers as a guide for your life, because a lot of the times they have issues. I'm going to be very honest with you. A lot of people online teaching you stuff don't know anything. Yeah, you can say that's me too. A lot of people don't know anything because this is all of our first times being alive, in this life, in this body. I don't care about past life regressions. This is my first conscious experience in this body, being Mariah. So yeah, I'm still learning, and everybody else that you see online, they're still learning. Everyone doesn't even know what's going on. So why are you listening to people? Literally. One thing I don't like about social media is that everybody just talks and gives their opinion, and they just want your attention. Even me, I consider myself a YouTuber and a content creator, and I've been doing so for years. But I don't like consuming other people's content, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't like having people's opinions in my ear. I don't like listening to people and hearing their opinions and have them say it like it's a fact, because nothing is a fact. Even what we see is not a fact, because it's all about perceptions. So don't listen to people and like make their entire advice and life your goals, your basis for how you should have anything. So instead of looking at them, you need to go within. Ask yourself, and if anything, start reading books, because reading books will give you a lot less stimulation and noise than just watching YouTube videos, watching TikToks. All I see is just a bunch of people giving their opinions. Nobody really knows anything, but everybody wants you to believe they know everything. Number 5, have your own life. Have your own life, because that is what you'll always have outside of a relationship and outside of a friendship. Your own life, your own goals, and your own creations. I'm not even talking about Liz here. I'm talking about other cases that I have seen. Liz has her own life, her own success, her own accolades. So I'm not sure what happened there. Things happen. Anyway, for example, Halle Bailey. I've always admired her for her feminine charm, for her charisma, just because she's authentic and she seems like a really cool person. But when she started to be involved with DDG, whatever, but then she got impregnated by him, that's when I had to stop. Absolutely not. Especially when you're not married. As a Gen Z, even I am irritated by my people, because a lot of people, at least online, they think that having a baby with a man is less commitment than being married. That is wild to me. I love my body too much to want to go through pregnancy in general. But to go through pregnancies for a man that I'm not even married to, that won't commit to me and shows that he loves me enough to get married to me and put his assets on the line for me. You want me to carry a baby for you? You want me to risk my life? Because getting pregnant and giving birth is not just something that you do. You can risk your life. You're going to change a lot physically and mentally during the baby incubation and afterwards. That is something that is a very big deal. So to do that for a guy who is just your boyfriend, absolutely not. I think this is because some people don't have their own lives. In the case of Holly, you can say, well, Mariah, she did have her own life. She literally just did Disney. Actress, singer, musician, songwriter, really talented. So how does she not have her own life? That's a good question. I think the real answer there is, do you have your own life and do you care about it enough not to put it on the line for a man? Yes, she had her own life and it seems like her own goals, but she was still willing to put that on a pause and risk it to give him a baby because he wanted a baby. She claims she did, but I think she was young and he was a little bit older and he might have been able to manipulate her. I also think he was kind of cheating on her and making her feel insecure. And she has already said herself that she did deal with insecurities. So I think someone who is insecure or has insecurities, coupled with being young and not knowing any better and being in love with someone, can easily translate to them being manipulated into having a child with a man. I think that is very possible. And I think she wanted that relationship to work more than anything else in that moment. Men are the real trappers. People used to think that it was women trapping men with babies. I don't think that's true. I think men are the real ones trying to trap women nowadays. They are. I've seen this. I've seen this. This is real. Men will see you successful, happy and beautiful, and they'll say, you know what I want? I want to dim your light. I want to pause your growth. Let's have a child. Absolutely not. You have to love your life so much. You have to care about your life so much and your goals and where you're going. Your pathway is so clear that even if you love this person with all your heart, you know that you're not going to stray from that for him. At least not right now. For a long while. Sure, you can be in love with them and all that other good stuff, but you have your own life and you care about that more than you care about pleasing him, because that's really just another symptom of people pleasing. Wanting to please him so much that you're willing to put yourself on the line by marrying and being impregnated by him. I think young women definitely need to hear this, because I see a lot of celebrities perpetuating this idea that that's okay to just like have babies with people. That's not okay. Don't do it. It's not okay, and it's not the move. And when young people see that, they're being influenced because it's all about your attention. So if we have all these celebrities making this seem like it's just the thing to do, yeah, it is influencing women, younger women, in a negative way. So I want to say that that's not a good idea, and don't do that. Want your own life and goals enough not to be veered off track because that's what a man wants. Men will trap you. They will try. Don't let them. Number 6, this can be its own video. And maybe it will be. Stop having an open mind, as in stop going out with people that you actually don't like. A lot of women have been told that you should date dudes who you are not attracted to because they will treat you better. That is not true, as we have seen from the Wizard Liz situation. These so-called uggos will date a beautiful woman and their ego will get a little too inflated. They think they are more attractive than they are, and they start to do dumb stuff like cheat on their pregnant fiance/wife. We've seen this enough to realize that maybe this whole idea that we should go out with the ugly guy because he'll treat us better is not right. Another reason why I don't like this is because I think when you go out with people that you don't like, you're training yourself in a bad way. You're telling yourself that you don't even deserve to have what you really want. You're telling yourself that you can't have exactly what you want. I want to be with someone that I am attracted to. I want to be with someone that I am very attracted to. I don't want to be with someone that I have to convince is cute. I don't want to be with someone that I have to convince to my friends and family that he is cute, or he has a nice personality, or he makes me laugh. I don't want to be with someone that I actually don't like, because you should be with someone that you actually like. So we need to stop telling women that they should date unattractive men or men they are not attracted to because he's gonna treat you better. That's obviously not true. And you're training yourself and your body and your mind to believe that you can't have what you want, so you have to settle for less. We're not settling for less. Stop training yourself to settle for less. You deserve better. You deserve what you want. You deserve to have what you want, so stop dating guys that you actually don't. This is something that we have been told for a long time, and I think we need to remove this from the conversation. I think we should stop trying to date uggos. That's mean. I think we should stop trying to date men that we are not attracted to. Not that he has to be someone that's just, I don't know, name a cute celebrity that everyone likes. Brad Pitt, Michael B. Jordan. He doesn't have to be someone that's just this beautiful specimen of a human being, but someone that you actually like. Because a lot of us are dating guys that we have to convince ourselves that he's attractive. Like, we're hypnotizing ourselves that this guy is attractive just so we can like kiss him without throwing up. Let's stop. Let's be with people we actually like. And let's stop being afraid to say that we are beautiful and we do deserve good things. We had a really good talk today. I hope that you found this video informative. I hope that you got something from it, and I want to start a conversation. So leave a comment for me below. Tell me what you think. What are your takeaways from this entire situation? Let's try to keep it supportive. I don't like victim blaming and trying to say that she was in the wrong here. This whole video is just to kind of look at it as a case study and as a reminder for women of some things that we should look out for, and maybe some things that we should and shouldn't do when it comes to men. I want to start a conversation about it because I think more conversations need to be had. There's a whole deep dive into his issues and his manipulation. There's lots of people who have talked about that specifically. This is as much as I want to talk about the topic because I don't really like talking about people and gossip and stuff. But yeah, very interesting. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to like this video and subscribe. Only if you want to, but you probably do, so just do it. I'm just saying, just do it if you want to. I don't know. Also, I just reached 300 followers on TikTok. I know, it's crazy. I recently posted a video that has gone viral, so that's pretty cool. I am in my consistency era. Because you know what? We are creating our dream life in 2025. No more waiting. I'm being it now. It's official. I'm already famous. Comment down below what you think of this topic and what you took away from this entire situation. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye. I look pretty even when I cry. I look pretty even when I cry.